Michael Bisping has come to Tom Aspinall's defense following criticism from fans who accused the heavyweight champion of giving up too easily after his recent fight was stopped due to an eye poke. Bisping addressed the backlash directly, saying that people questioning Aspinall's decision to stop fighting simply don't understand how serious such an injury can be. He explained that the eye poke was not a minor incident but a significant and painful injury that clearly affected Tom's ability to see. According to Bisping, when a fighter repeatedly says he can't see, it means the damage is real, and continuing under those circumstances would have been both dangerous and reckless. Bisping drew on his own experience as a former UFC champion, admitting that he fought for years with only one functioning eye. He acknowledged that doing so was a mistake and that, in hindsight, it was something he should never have hidden. He said that fighting with impaired vision is not a sign of toughness but rather a risk that can lead to permanent damage. He stressed that Aspinall made the right call by being honest about his condition. "If you can't see, you tell the truth," Bisping said firmly. "You're allowed to admit you can't see. That's what any responsible fighter should do." He went on to defend Aspinall's professionalism, emphasizing that as the heavyweight champion of the world, Tom had nothing to prove by continuing a fight in which he couldn't properly defend himself. Bisping pointed out that Ciryl Gane was looking sharp that night and had already caused visible damage to Aspinall's face. He said this was shaping up to be a tough contest even without the injury, and stepping back under those conditions was the only sensible decision. Continuing would not have demonstrated courage. It would have jeopardized Aspinall's career and possibly his eyesight. Bisping also addressed the reaction from the audience, acknowledging that fans were understandably frustrated. Many had traveled long distances, spent significant money on tickets, and were eager to see an exciting main event. However, he emphasized that their anger was not directed at Aspinall himself but rather at the unfortunate way the fight ended. He said the disappointment was about the situation, not the fighter, and that Tom's decision should be respected. In Bisping's view, Aspinall acted responsibly, choosing health and long-term safety over pride. He concluded by praising Tom for showing maturity and professionalism in a difficult moment. Chael Sonnen expressed his disappointment following the controversial end to the fight between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane, where the bout was stopped due to an eye poke. Sonnen said he had hoped to see Aspinall face some real adversity inside the octagon and show how he would respond when things did not go according to plan. He explained that all day leading up to the fight, he was excited to see how Aspinall would handle difficult situations, whether he would rely on his wrestling or adapt his striking strategy if his initial approach failed. According to Sonnen, the abrupt ending left him and many fans unsatisfied, as it deprived everyone of answers about Aspinall's ability to adjust under pressure. Sonnen acknowledged that an eye poke is an illegal move and that no one wants to see a fight end that way, but he also pointed out that fighting through injuries or temporary impairments is part of what separates champions from ordinary fighters. He mentioned that competing with one eye is not unusual in mixed martial arts, as fighters frequently deal with cuts, swelling, and vision problems during intense exchanges. In his view, enduring those moments is part of the championship mentality. He went on to explain that, in a sport as brutal and unpredictable as MMA, athletes are constantly tested in ways that go beyond skill and technique. Sonnen said that while it is important to show respect and grace toward fighters dealing with legitimate injuries, the expectation at the championship level is different. For him, a true champion must be prepared to push through adversity, even when it means fighting under compromised conditions. He referenced how other fighters have battled through damaged eyes, broken noses, and other serious issues without quitting, emphasizing that toughness and perseverance are essential qualities in title holders. Sonnen made it clear that he was not trying to discredit Aspinall's performance or toughness but rather expressing frustration at the anticlimactic ending. He said the situation leaves fans wondering what could have been if Aspinall had chosen to continue, adding that heavyweights are held to a higher standard because they represent the pinnacle of fighting grit. For Sonnen, moments like this are where legends are made, and while he sympathized with Aspinall's situation, he maintained that a champion sometimes has to fight through pain and limited vision to truly prove his greatness in the octagon. Justin Gaethje recently stated that his next fight will likely take place whenever Ilia Topuria steps into the octagon again. He explained that his current plan is to align his return with Topuria's schedule, saying he was initially hoping to face him in January but now believes that timeline is unlikely. According to Gaethje, the biggest uncertainty is when Topuria will fight next, and as far as he knows, only Topuria and his team have that information. Despite the uncertainty, Gaethje remains optimistic that the matchup will eventually happen, expressing his interest in sharing the stage with the reigning champion. Gaethje suggested that the ideal scenario would be for the fight to take place on the highly anticipated White House card, which has been generating significant buzz among fans and fighters alike. He said he couldn't imagine a better event for that bout, emphasizing that Topuria is a popular champion with massive international appeal, while Gaethje himself is a proud American fighter who has consistently represented the country with honor. He added that a clash between the two would make perfect sense both competitively and promotionally, highlighting the excitement and intensity it would bring to the card. Reflecting on his career, Gaethje took pride in his consistency and reliability as a professional fighter. He noted that he has never backed out of a fight, never failed the UFC, and has always been ready to step up whenever called upon. He believes that record of dependability makes him as deserving as anyone in the lightweight division for a marquee fight. Gaethje stressed that he has always given everything inside the octagon and outside of it, working hard to entertain fans and uphold the spirit of the sport. In discussing his motivation, Gaethje said representing the United States on such a historic card would be an honor. He emphasized his passion for the sport and his desire to face the best competition available. For him, a fight against Topuria represents not only a major opportunity but also a chance to showcase the type of warrior mentality that defines his career. Confident and energized, Gaethje concluded by reaffirming his belief that the matchup makes sense for both fighters and that he expects to get the call to represent his country on one of the most significant stages in UFC history. Sean O'Malley expressed genuine sympathy for Tom Aspinall following the disappointing conclusion to his recent fight. O'Malley said he felt bad for Aspinall, believing that if Tom had secured the victory, he would likely have earned a monumental matchup against Jon Jones at the White House card. He reflected on how much Aspinall missed out on because of the unfortunate ending, noting that the situation could have drastically changed the trajectory of his career. O'Malley emphasized that a win in that moment would have opened doors to one of the biggest fights in modern UFC history, potentially solidifying Aspinall as one of the sport's top stars. O'Malley described the situation as sad and unfortunate, saying it robbed the fans and the entire heavyweight division of an exciting storyline. He mentioned how the division has already been chaotic, with Jon Jones' limited appearances and the complications surrounding the interim title. According to O'Malley, a victory for Aspinall would have brought much-needed clarity and excitement, adding new energy to a weight class that has been unpredictable and full of uncertainty. He went on to question what happens next for Aspinall and the division as a whole. O'Malley pointed out that Tom defended an interim title, which already complicates the championship picture, especially with Jones recovering from injury and other contenders waiting in line. He asked whether the UFC would consider running the fight back or if they would need to move on to a new matchup. The crowd's reaction during the event, he said, showed how invested the fans were, proving that the fight had significant momentum before the unexpected ending. O'Malley speculated on possible future matchups, wondering whether Jon Jones or Alex Pereira would be willing to face Aspinall. However, he noted that neither seems interested in that fight right now, which makes the situation even more uncertain. He admitted that he does not know what the UFC should do next, but he understood Dana White's perspective in suggesting a rematch to settle the controversy. Overall, O'Malley's comments reflected empathy and frustration over how the outcome affected Aspinall's momentum. He made it clear that Tom was on the verge of a major breakthrough and that the premature ending not only impacted his personal progress but also deprived fans of what could have been one of the most thrilling heavyweight storylines in years. Nurmagomedov and his team were in full force in the corner for their teammate Chimaev and Aliskarov, who delivered a slick performance in his victory over Junyoung Park. Footage of Khabib Nurmagomedov reacting emotionally throughout the bout quickly went viral. He was visibly intense, responding to every strike and grappling exchange with passionate energy. After the fight, Aliskarov addressed recent comments made by Khamzat Chimaev that had caused tension between the two. Chimaev's remarks had been trending all week following an interview where he criticized what he described as double standards in the Russian media. According to Chimaev, Dagestani fighters often call him out publicly without issue, but when he calls out fighters from Dagestan, it becomes controversial. These statements sparked debate among fans and fighters, prompting Aliskarov to respond directly after his victory. Ikram clarified that Chimaev misunderstood the situation regarding a potential rematch. He explained that he never called for a second fight with Chimaev and had no interest in pursuing one at this stage of his career. He emphasized that Khamzat is now a world champion and ranked far above him, while he still has many opponents to get through before being in title contention. Aliskarov pointed out that it makes no sense to discuss a rematch when they are on different career paths. He went on to say that if a title fight opportunity were to arise, he would never turn it down, regardless of who stood across from him. For Ikram, fighting for a world championship is the highest honor, and any true competitor would seize that chance without hesitation. He added that refusing such an opportunity would be an act of cowardice, something that goes against the spirit of a real fighter. Aliskarov expressed disappointment in Chimaev's public comments, saying it was frustrating to hear negative remarks from someone he has always respected. He denied ever calling out Chimaev or seeking to create conflict, suggesting that the situation was blown out of proportion by media and fans. The misunderstanding, however, has added new tension between Chimaev and members of the Dagestani fight community. As of now, Khamzat Chimaev is expected to face Nassourdine Imavov in the coming months, likely in April or May, following Ramadan. His team has confirmed that he will not be competing before then. The ongoing drama between Chimaev and Team Khabib continues to fuel speculation and debate across the MMA world.